Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra. This is the earnings special edition where our focus will be on GIC Reinsurance. The company has posted its numbers. We've actually seen on a standalone basis the net profit has jumped by about 41.6%, 1,036 odd crores. The total income for the company is improved by 41.5%. And we've also seen that the gross premium and the net premium have also seen a substantial improvement in this quarter as well. Let's get in a word from the top management now for all of you viewers. Mr. Ramaswamy Narayanan, the CMD of GIC Re, is now joining in on this special edition. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Could you begin by helping our viewers really understand how have you seen this quarter pan out for you? It's the first quarter of the fiscal year 2025, so it sets the tone really for the entire fiscal year. Has it met your expectation? And what's gone in to improve the bottom line, sir?
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for having me here. The quarter has been quite inspiring. We've done well. After our Q4 earnings call, I had made a suggestion that the consolidation phase is over for GIC. Over the last 3-4 years, we were consolidating our book, weeding out loss-making portfolios and treaties, and I had reached a situation where the book was looking good, and we said that we are now back on our growth journey, and that growth is now being displayed in the figures. So from this year we'll be growing our book. So while the first quarter does show an impressive 40% growth, I think over the year I think we would expect the overall growth to be about 15-16% compared to the last year. The
Okay.
performance figures look good. The profitability is good because overall everything has worked well. The loss ratios have come down, the combined ratios have come down, and overall the business is looking good for us. Yes.
Okay. So, could you detail for us on the net earned premium? Where are you at and how do you see it panning out for the rest of the fiscal year? What do you end that with?
So the net earned premium would be, slightly lower simply because we've just started our growth. And typically in a reinsurance book, what you would see is when you start your growth journey, your earned premium takes a little bit of time to catch up. So typically we earn only 50% of the premium that we write. So, this year we plan to write about 5 to 6,000 crores of premium. And so only around 3,000 crores of that will get earned, and balance will get earned over the next year. So yes, the net earned premium would be slightly lower than what we would see from the gross premium figures. But overall, with that kind of a net earned premium, we expect to have a decent combined ratio of close to 109%, which would enable that our overall profitability will remain the same or even look better going forward.
Okay. So, could you tell us your international business has also been growing? So, how much of total revenue contribution is now coming in from your international business, and how is the premium growth also, both internationally and domestically?
So internationally, so now if you look at my book, the domestic is about 84% and international is only 16%. Two reasons for that. One, the domestic book has been growing very well. We've been, growing that book well on the 1st April renewals, whereas internationally, we've still not started our growth. And in fact, for the first quarter, there has been a dip in the international business because a contract that we were writing in the US and which we stopped in 2021, the balance premium was still coming in the earlier years, but now there is no more premium left to come. So actually there is a dip of about 1,000 crores in the international premium because of that. Now the international book, when we need to grow, we will need to have a good international credit rating. So that is something that we are looking for. We are interacting with our credit rating agency, which is AM Best. Last year, looking at our results and the way we were performing, they increased our rating by 2 points. So now we are just one notch away from A minus, which is the minimum required to write really good quality business from the international market. So we are waiting for that. We are hoping that we will get it this year. And once we do that, then we will start our growth on the international side as well. So currently, the growth has been happening on the domestic side. We have grown very well, and we have actually diversified our book very well. So that is very gratifying because now it means that the book is very well safeguarded. Even one class showing a loss actually gets made up by the other classes who are contributing the premium. So we're very happy with the book that we currently have.
Right. So, Mr. Swami, if you could also highlight for us, when you're saying 15 to 16% growth, this is higher than the guidance that you had earlier pointed out, right? 10 to 12% was your initial guidance. So, you're upping that, right?
No, no, no. I think we made the same guidance that it will be about 15 to 16%. I think the 10 to 12% guidance was for the Indian insurance market, which is typically been growing on this at this rate, the last few years.
Okay, understood that. Now, it's very interesting that, for our viewers as well to understand how does your entire book really look, because it's not a very widely discussed, space that you are in, the reinsurance space. So, do tell us, since you're saying that, your book is largely consolidated, some of the loss-making businesses you have already exited. How will it look going forward from here? What are the kind of profitable businesses would you be looking at going forward from here, so that we can get an assessment of how the company is looking forward, sir?
So typically, if you look at the book, currently about 30% of the book is property business, the fire business, as we call it. About 23-24% currently is health. About 15, 16% is motor, and about 10% odd is agriculture. Rest are all very small, whether it is marine cargo, hull, miscellaneous, liability. They're all very small portfolios. We would possibly keep it at that, maybe grow health a little more, and have it also closer to the 30% mark. The point is, this makes the book very diversified. As a reinsurance company, we typically look for diversification in our book, so that one loss in one particular class does not affect the book at all, does not affect the profitability at all. So that is what we have done this year in the domestic market. We grew our health book. Health used to be very small at around 4 or 5% of our total book. Today, now it has reached almost 24% of the book. So what we have done is we have grown on the retail health, which is a much better business, profitable business. Normally doesn't come into the reinsurance market because these are all very small ticket insurance policies, and insurance companies can normally retain it to themselves. But we have managed to get some reinsurance business on the retail side, and that is looking good in our book now. So this is
Okay.
what we will be planning to do going forward as well.
Right. And if you could also give us a pecking order in terms of which are your businesses that are high yielding margin businesses, what would those be then?
That would depend, I mean, it depends on year to year basis. So you would have a situation where fire could give you a good amount of profit if there are no catastrophes, for instance. But then if you have catastrophes hitting your book, that could affect the margins, because normally 10 to 12, 15% margins could get taken away by that. For instance, last year we had about nine catastrophic events in India, out of which five was major, which overall took away something like 3,600 crores in terms of claims, both actually paid and provided for, which would have actually made up 10% of my combined ratio. So that is a big, plus or minus that can happen in property. Whereas something like health, normally the business that we write, the loss ratios are typically in the 50 to 60% range. And normally we end up paying something like 30, 35, 40% as commission to defray the cost. So this is a very steady kind of a business that we would continue to want. So our books would typically have a mixture of both. Things which would give us big profits at the same time in a bad year can really affect you badly, and also have businesses which work in a very normal, clean way, giving you 5 rupees profit year on year. So we would want both of them in our books.
Okay. On the underwriting losses, it's at 1289 odd crore rupees. What is the way forward from here, sir?
Way forward is to improve that, and bring it as close to zero as possible. But you have to understand that Indian market, so Indian insurance market is a highly proportional market, which means that we kind of follow the fortunes of the insurance companies. Today the Indian insurance market typically works at a combined of close to 120, anywhere between 118 to 120. In that range we are working at a combined ratio of close to 105, 106. So we actually doing much better than the market. Now, we need the market to improve for us also to improve our combined ratios. And that is what we keep telling the market, that they must focus on pricing. Because at the current moment, we feel that pricing is quite stressed. People, just for the sake of grabbing the business, sometimes pricing is compromised. I think we need to reach a situation where the risks that you take must clearly reflect in the prices that you charge. I think once that happens, this market becomes profitable. Obviously, our book also becomes profitable.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Mrs. Swamy, for being with us on this very special edition and sharing all your thoughts and insights. All the very best to you for the upcoming quarters, and we'll see you soon on Business Today Television.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With that, viewers, we wrap up this very special conversation with GIC Reinsurance on the entire earnings performance as well as the outlook going forward from here. But do stay tuned on to Business Today. We'll continue to get you such exciting conversation through the course of the day.
भाई किसान लोग बताइए, नई नई वैरायटी होती है, आप लोगों को कैसा लगता है इसका? हाँ हाँ